Hello there, welcome to Africa News. I'm Rochelle Ferguson with the top stories. Firstly, French soldiers recover a flight recorder from the crash site of an Air Algerie plane in northern Mali as authorities say 10 people from the same family died in the tragic incident. Concerns in Nigeria as health officials confirm a Liberian man hospitalised in Lagos has died from the Ebola virus. This amid the worst ever outbreak of the virus. And a look at Geraldine Robert named the best player in the French Basketball League and how she gets kids in Gabon to grips with the joys of shooting hoops. But first to our top story. Investigators, as well as French and African military personnel, continue to search through the debris looking for what caused Air Algerie flight AH5017 to crash, killing all 118 people on board. Soldiers have recovered one of the black boxes from the wreckage site in the Gossi region near the border with Burkina Faso. At least 54 of the passengers on board were French, including a family of 10.
A family is decimated. It's hard. With his wife, he was making an effort to help his children discover their roots, and now it's over. Excuse me.
Well, according to our correspondents, both Mali's President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta and Burkina Faso's leader Blaise Compaoré visited the site at different times today. This report from our correspondents in Burkina Faso.
This is where passengers of flight AH5017 boarded the plane on Wednesday night. Since, the airport has remained eerily calm. Families and friends of those on board have come to get the latest information about what happened to their loved ones.
The plane crashed, and parts of the plane were scattered everywhere. Therefore, there's no possibility of any survivors.
Families are reeling from the shock, but they're also starting to ask questions.
I lost my youngest brother and his wife, and his 4 children, and my sister's child. 7 died in the crash. I can't describe what I'm feeling. I find it disgusting that companies as unorganized as this one are still allowed to operate.
On the crash site, military men from Burkina Faso have started their investigation. They've filmed and analyzed every scattered part of the plane and have a first theory of what caused the plane to crash.
We think the aircraft crashed for reasons linked to bad weather conditions. The pilot even said he was going to have to avoid a storm, and that's when the contact was lost. That's when the control tower in Niamey lost all contact with the plane.
In the capital, Ouagadougou, people want to know what happened to help them overcome their loss. This Friday, flags were flown at half-mast. Time stood still.
Well, with multinational troops on the ground in Mali, the area surrounding the crash site is secured. For more on the role the United Nations will be playing in the investigation into Thursday's plane crash, France 24 spoke to Gerard Kwanda's head of the UN mission in Mali.
Well, I think it's crucial that the United Nations operation in Mali supports the efforts of the French and the Malian authorities. We have put all we have, so to speak, to the benefit of search and rescue. We have our attack helicopters there, we have our special forces, we have those that can help also in recover the bodies, secure the sites, obviously in support of Malian and French activities, who are the main players.
Next, Nigerian officials have confirmed a Liberian man hospitalised in Lagos has died from the Ebola virus that's killed at least 660 people across West Africa. The Monrovia resident was admitted to hospital on Sunday after suffering from severe vomiting and diarrhoea on arrival at Lagos International Airport. Authorities say the patient avoided contact with the general public and that passengers who came into contact with him have been traced. Well, meanwhile, Sierra Leone officials have appealed for help in tracking down a woman infected with the Ebola virus who was forcibly removed from a hospital by her family. Radio stations in the capital city, Freetown, have been broadcasting the appeal to locate the 32-year-old patient. Well, for more, let's cross live to Ibrahim Kamara, a journalist in Freetown. Ibrahim, good evening to you. Now, what more do we know about the search for this woman?
Thank you very much. The Kiama Road Hospital yesterday was closed down due to the Ebola virus. A patient was admitted at the hospital, and she has been there for like a week since admission. But she was suffering from illness, which are common signs of Ebola. And doctors took a sample of her blood and sent to the Kenema Hospital for diagnosis. After some days, in the hospital, her family members took her out without the notice of the doctor. So in the early hour yesterday, and the blood sample came in and was confirmed she was Ebola virus positive. And
now, Ibrahim, I was just going to say that the media is clearly mobilising to help find this patient. Has the news panicked Sierra Leoneans?
Well, there's a massive campaign going on the media. There's TV station, radio stations, and the youth group that's being sent out to look for this lady. So there's a serious, massive campaign sensitizing people about the Ebola virus and the search of this woman.
Okay, Ibrahim Kamara in Freetown for us. Thanks very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Kenyan authorities say a female tourist shot dead in the coastal city of Mombasa on Thursday was from Germany. The attack is the second on a foreign visitor by gunmen this month. A Russian tourist was killed on July the 6th. No one's claimed their responsibility, but Al-Shabaab has warned tourists to stay out of Kenya. Ugandan police say 9 bodies have been uncovered in an investigation into mass graves following tribal violence in the country's west. Local leaders say the victims were members of the Bakonzo tribe killed in reprisal attacks in the Kasese district. On July the 5th, gunmen raided villages near the border with Congo, killing at least 12 people. And African Union troops in Somalia say they've killed 2 senior Al-Shabaab insurgents as part of an offensive by the UN-backed AU mission in Somalia. Fighter jets pounded the town of Jilib on Thursday. Amazon has confirmed it destroyed an Al-Shabaab logistical base. Well, in 2013, Geraldine Robert was named the best player in the French Basketball League. The sports star's passion for the game is contagious, and she spent years off the basketball court running free training camps in Gabon, getting kids to grips with the joys of shooting hoops. Ekia Badu sent us this report.
The highly dynamic Geraldine Robert welcomes nearly 100 children to her basketball training camps. She was voted best player in the French league last year, and every summer she organizes these free sessions.
Sport has no borders. What you learn in Europe, you can also learn in Africa. I've come here with foreign coaches so we can share our experiences and our knowledge with the children.
This year, the youngest children are only 4 years old.
You develop a team spirit. You meet many different people.
The first year I wasn't very good at throwing the ball, but I've improved this year.
There are a majority of boys, but girls are also keen to attend the camp.
In my house, only my brothers used to play basketball, so they used to tease me. That's why I wanted to learn how to play.
During these camps, Geraldine Robert tells children not to abandon their studies and always remember that basketball is above all great fun.
And finally, a reminder of our top story, paying homage. France says there are no survivors from the Air Algerie plane crash in Mali on Thursday, but the Malian filmmaker Bakary Diallo and the Cameroonian director Lorenzo Mbio Camajo were among the victims on board the flight. The friends had just finished a course in documentary writing in Bobo Dioulasso, Burkina Faso's second city. Earlier this year, Camajo won a prize at the Sud Ciné Festival in France for the film entitled Girl Ride, while Diallo won the Metropolis Madatak Award in 2010 for his film The Light. We leave you with these images.